what should we start? Go Java. Object orientation. Okay, so let's talk about this object orientation. What is object orientation? Any idea? Or if somebody will ask what is OOPS? What is OOPS or what is object orientation? Tell me. What is an OOPS? Okay, so object orientation, I usually give this example, and earlier also I had given. Okay, so suppose if I talk about Sachin Tendulkar. Who is Sachin Tendulkar? Cricketer. What came into your mind? Cricket. Okay, if I talk about anyone, I mean Amitabh Bachchan, then what will come? Movie, film, right? Okay, similarly if I talk about Sania Mirza, what? Tennis. Correct, right? Similarly, if I talk about Java, what comes into our own mind? Object. Are you able to understand? So that's why what we call Java is object-oriented programming language. Okay. Why? Because Java cannot go ahead if object is not there. Are you able to understand? Okay. So that's why Java is called object-oriented programming language. Okay. So, so what is the? So this is very typical question when people will ask. Okay, so people will ask something like, why Java is called object-oriented programming language? Okay, so you have to talk about some of those points. So if somebody will ask why Java is called object-oriented programming language, then what you should say? Because Java deals with objects all the time. Java deals with object all the time, okay, and communication happens between objects using methods. In Java, how communication happens? It happens between objects using methods, basically. Okay, so that's why Java is called object-oriented programming language. So why Java is called object-oriented programming? Because communication happens between objects using methods. And Java will deal with object all the time, because that's why Java is called object-oriented programming language. Plus, there are some sort of rules which all the object-oriented programming language will follow. It is not about Java and other language, something like what? Smalltalk, okay. Whatever language we are having, all the language follows some rules. So what are those rules? Those rules are nothing but we call those as OOPS concepts. What are those called? OOPS concepts. Okay. So whichever language will follow, no matter whatever the scenario will be, okay. So whichever language will follow these concepts, those are called OOPS language, or those are called object-oriented programming language. So what are those concepts? First one is what are those? Tell me one by one. Class, okay. Then object, okay. Then inheritance, polymorphism, okay. Then encapsulation, and what is the last one? Abstraction. So these are the concepts which will be followed by your Java always. Okay, so these are the concepts which is followed by your Java. So what are those? Class, object, inheritance, then polymorphism, and then encapsulation and abstraction. Okay, so what is a class? Class is nothing but template of states and behavior. States are nothing but the variables, behaviors are nothing but method names basically. Okay, yeah. Now what is an object? Instance of a class. So whenever you use new operator, what gets called created? Object is getting created. Okay, now what is the third one? Inheritance. So inheritance, what is inheritance? To reuse the code of your superclass in your subclass. So what is the keyword we use? Extends is the keyword which we use. Okay, Java does not support multiple inheritance. Now let's talk about so these are the different things are there. So in this chapter we will concentrate on these two, encapsulation and polymorphism. Okay, so that's what. So now as I told, these concepts are not only related to Java, it is related to all the OOPS language. Okay, if you are studying now inheritance, it does not mean it is only for Java. If you know this concept, you can work with other languages also which follows OOPS basically. Okay, so now this encapsulation, we'll concentrate on encapsulation for today. Okay, so we'll try to understand method. I mean, if you don't have encapsulation, what problem will happen? Okay, if I have encapsulation, then what problem will happen? So all those things we'll see it. Okay, so okay, now let's try to understand what is encapsulation. Okay, so encapsulation. So we'll discuss about this encapsulation. Okay, so we'll discuss about encapsulation. I'll write one very simple example. Okay, and you'll be able to understand your encapsulation, what encapsulation is all about. Okay, so we will go here. Okay, so encapsulation, before going to that, try to understand. Suppose if you are staying at your home, you stay at your home. Okay, now at your home, do you have any boundary? You will have some sort of boundary, right? Why you put the boundary? Why you put the boundary? At your home, some boundary will be there, right? So why you put the boundary? So that what will happen? A thief should not come inside. Okay, so if some dogs are there, they should not come inside your home. So we are putting boundary so that other people cannot come inside. Are you able to understand what I am telling is? Okay, so similar to this, try to understand in your programming. Okay, if you are having one class, okay, you are having many variables, many methods will be there inside. Maybe one of the variable animal is having one of the variable called number of legs. Okay, now if you will expose your variable outside, if you will make your that variable number of legs public, then what will happen? You are not putting boundary, right? So anybody who can come and they can make number of legs equal to 100. So animal can have 100 legs? No. Are you able to understand? So we have to find some mechanism by which what will happen, the person will be able to use those variables. It's not like he cannot use it, but there should be some sort of restrictions which should be there. What I'm to say is, if you are putting boundary at your home, it does not mean nobody can come in. Okay, so they can come in, but what will happen? There should be some restriction. Something like if you are having some dog at your home. Okay, so you are having one pet dog. Okay, so he can come in, right? Because he is your own dog. Other dog will not be able to come, but he can come. Okay, so we have to. So here also in programming, if you want to put some boundary over variables or methods, those are called encapsulation. Okay, so we'll have one example by which you'll be able to understand. I mean how the things works basically. Okay, so okay. let me create a very simple example by which you will be able to understand. Encapsulation example. Always we must have package, right? So how to fill a package? com.test is a package. Then we must have entry point. What is the entry point? Main class. So main class is your entry point. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So I'll try to understand what we are discussing about. Okay. So in encapsulation, what I told, sometimes there will be some scenario. Okay. So when we have to put boundary basically. Okay. So how will you put your boundary? We'll check it. Okay. So suppose let's try to have some examples. Okay. So I'll create one of the class, maybe any class. Okay, so maybe I'll give you a name. Hiral. Hiral is your first class. Okay, because she is the one who called me first. So Hiral is the first class. Okay, yeah. Now we will create two classes only. Okay, so any other name? Tell me. Any other class? Purvi or Vaishali or what name? Okay, so Purvi only. Okay, so Purvi is the another class. The spelling is correct. Okay. So there are two classes. One is your Hiral, another is called Purvi. Okay. Now Hiral is a class, right? So Hiral will have some sort of states, some sort of behaviors. Okay. So suppose let's try to think about Hiral is one of the having one of the state called, maybe I for timing don't worry about that. I am having one of the state called weight. I mean, what is the weight of Hiral? Got it, right? So Hiral is having one of those variable called weight. Okay, and whenever Hiral works, she is thinking, okay, her weight will not be more than 100. Okay, so maximum weight will be, so better what we can do, we can make it to max weight. So what is the variable Hiral is having? Max weight. Okay, and she is thinking max weight will become maximum, it will go to 100. It will not go more than 100. It will not be 100, I know. Okay. Okay, so I mean, so what we are thinking, Hiral will have maximum weight is 100. It will not go more than 100. Okay, now what we do, we will go to Purvi. Purvi is the another class. Okay, and she is dealing with the weight of 100. Okay, so Purvi might be doing some coding. Okay, so he is working with the weight of your Hiral. Okay, so now Purvi will write one of the method called get Hiral. What is the method she has written? Get Hiral weight, and what she is doing, she is making it public. Now what Purvi will do? Purvi will create one object of Hiral. Hiral equal to new Hiral. Okay, and what Hiral will do? Purvi will do max weight equal to, okay, maybe 500. Are you able to understand? So what is the problem here? It is coming. The problem is very simple. Purvi is able to change the data of Hiral directly. Got it? What is the problem? Okay. Now if we want to get the weight of Hiral, so if we will print Hiral weight. Okay. If I want to print the Hiral weight, how will I print? Plus Hiral dot max weight. Now if I'll call this from our entry point, what is our entry point? Our main class we want to call it. So Purvi equal to new Purvi. Okay, and Purvi dot get Hiral weight. Got it, right? So now what is the output I should get? 500. Why? Because Purvi had set Hiral maximum at to 500. Okay, so what is happening? We are getting the weight for 500. But what was Hiral convention? It will be 100. It will not be more than 100. Definitely. Are you able to understand? So what is the rule we are breaching here? Encapsulation. We are going against the encapsulation. Got it, right? So now if so now what is encapsulation? What is encapsulation? Doing changes in your code without breaking the rules of others is called encapsulation. Okay, so yeah, note it down. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but doing changes in your code without breaking the rule of others. Doing changes in your code without breaking the rule of others is called encapsulation. Okay, so doing changes in your code without breaking the rule of others is called encapsulation. So here we are going against what is the mechanism? Encapsulation. Okay, now how to achieve encapsulation? Okay, or else here one more thing you can think: encapsulation nothing but putting boundary over variables. Okay, putting boundary over our variables are nothing but those are called encapsulation. Putting boundary over the variables is nothing but this is called encapsulation. Okay, now how you will put the variable? How will you put the boundary? You have to put some boundary, right? So how to put the boundary? How to put the boundary? If I am having one variable, I don't want it to be used by other class, then how to do? You have to make it a private. Got it, right? So what you have to do? You have to make your variable private or protected. Okay. So we'll go over there. So how to put the boundary? There are two steps to put the boundary. There are two steps which we follow. What is the first step? Make your variable private or protected. What is the first step? You have to make your variable private. Now if you will make your variable private, what will happen? It cannot be accessed by outside class, right? So make your when you will make it protected, you want it to be accessed only by your subclass. So in that case you will make it protected. Okay, now we use one of those very simple concept called getters and setters. Okay, so create getters and setters. So this is the way how you achieve encapsulation. What you do? You make your variable private, and what you do? Private or protected, and what you do? You should create some getters and setters. So this is very small, simple two steps which we follow to achieve encapsulation. So now if I want to achieve encapsulation, so what Hiral will do? He will make it private. Got it, right? So now if Hiral will make this variable private, then what will happen? Purvi cannot touch it. Got it, right? So what happened? See here, compilation error. Why? Because he cannot touch it. So we'll have to comment it. Now Hiral wants his weight to be touched by Purvi. So what he'll do? What she'll do? She will create one. How to create getters? Very small shortcut we follow here. Alt Shift S. Okay. Then you go to getters and setters. You select all over. Got it, right? So what Hiral has done, he has created getters and setters. How to create a getters and setters? Alt Shift S, getters and setters, and that's all. Okay. Now Purvi, if she wants to change the weight of Hiral, what she must come through set. Set means you want to change it. Get means you want to get it. Get means no change, only getting it. Setting means you want to change it. Okay. So now if Purvi wants to set it, what she will have to do? She will have to do something like Hiral dot set maximum weight. Okay, equal to suppose Purvi will make it to 500. Okay, and here if you want to get the weight, what to do? Get max weight. Set means you want to change it, get means you want to get it. As simple as that. Okay, but even though if I run this code, what should my output? It would be 500 only. Okay, even though what is the output? 500 only. Okay, but then what is the use of these getters and setters? What is the use of it? Try to understand very deeply. Okay, so see, if Hiral will expose her variable, then anybody can change it, right? But now, as Purvi wants to change it, how she is coming through method, and can I write any logic inside method? Yes. Are you able to understand? Now what Hiral can do, he can write something like this. Okay, so observe it. If maximum weight is greater than 100, then max weight equal to 100. Are you able to understand? So if you are having getters and setters, you are having more control of your variables. Are you able to understand? If I directly expose, do you have any control? No control. Anybody can come, they can make it 500, they can make it 1000, they can make it maybe we don't know what they want to make it. Okay, but if they want to come, they will come through this method, and method will be in your control. You can write your own logic. Got it, right? If it is more, so now what should be the output? Tell me. If I run this code, 100, because Hiral is controlling that particular variable through this method, and she is writing the logic so that what will happen, it will never go beyond 100. It can be less than 100, it is fine, but it cannot go beyond 100. Are you able to understand what is the use of this? Okay, so if you run this code, what should be the output? 100 is the output. No matter what Purvi will set, even if Purvi will set some number, some junk number. Okay, so what will happen? See, it will be 100 only. So how Hiral is able to control her variable? Through getters and setters. Okay, through methods basically. Okay, and this is nothing but what is that? This is called encapsulation. So that's why whenever we do the coding from now onwards, what we'll do, we'll make our variables private always. Okay, so any code which will in Android also, whenever we write the code, what will happen? We will make our variables, private to protect that basically. So that it should be untouched by some other people. Got it, right? So yeah. So now how to achieve encapsulation? These are the two ways: make and getters and setters. Okay. So that's what. So try to understand what is encapsulation. Ability to make changes in your implementation code without breaking the rule of others is called encapsulation. About putting boundary over the variables. Okay. How to achieve it? What will happen to make your variables protected and private? And what is the one? This is called accessors. What is accessors? Accessors are nothing but getters and setters basically. Got it, right? So this is nothing but encapsulation. Okay, very important. So people usually ask this question very frequently. What is encapsulation? With example. So you can use this example, the example which I am writing, right? So you can copy paste the same example over there. Okay, so what is encapsulation? Putting boundary over your variables are nothing but those are called encapsulation. This is very important concept. Okay, why? Because if you are not following encapsulation, then what is happening? You don't know the coding structure basically. Okay, so be very careful. Okay, now typically whenever you want to create getters and setters, those are also called Java bin properties. What are those? Set and get. If it is a boolean, then is. Running means you don't say get running, you have to say is running basically. So boolean will be your is, and others will be your get set will be there. Okay, yeah. Now try to understand. We already studied inheritance a bit. Okay, so now why we use inheritance? Any idea? Why do we use inheritance? Reusable code. This is the first point. Promote reusability. Okay, what is the second point? Why we use inheritance? Because of polymorphism. Okay, so what are the advantage of inheritance? Advantage of inheritance. In your college, this question is very famous. Okay, so I don't know about your college, but in my college, whenever we will go for exam, this question is what is the advantage of inheritance? Okay, so what is the first answer is to promote the reusability. Okay, to promote reusability. Sorry, reusability. Okay, to promote reusability. And what is the second one? Okay, so what is the one? Tell me. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is one of the advantages of your inheritance. Okay, These are the two advantages of inheritance. First is to promote reusability. You will reuse the code of your superclass in subclass. And what is the second one? Polymorphism. Okay. Yeah. So now, before going to this polymorphism thing, let's try to discuss about. There are two very important relationships. Okay, which comes as a is a. There are two relationships we follow. What is the one? Has a and is a. We'll try to understand what is a, what is has a. Okay, so with some sort of example. Okay, so try to understand. If I'll create one very simple architecture, or maybe your class diagram. Who is a superclass? Animal is your superclass. Okay, and we are having other thing, dog and horse. Okay, so we are having three class. One is your animal, then dog and horse. Yeah. Now below we are having one more hierarchy. What is the hierarchy? Suppose we are having the class name called vehicle. Okay, and we are having one more class called car and bike. Got it, right? So vehicle, car, bike, and what is the other hierarchy? Animal, dog and horse. So dog extends animal, horse extends animal, bike extends vehicle, and car extends vehicle. And who is the one the topmost? Tell me, which is the topmost class? What is the class name? Object. Okay, so object will always be there. Who is the super class of all the class? Object. Okay, object is one of the class which will by default be present for you. So even if you will do, it will be there. Even if you will not do, it will be by default be present for you basically. Okay, so that's why we call who is the supermost class? Object is the supermost class. Okay, now I'll tell some of those words. You just have to understand. You have to tell me whether it is correct or not. Okay, so I'll tell. Okay, so dog is a animal. Is it correct? Dog is a animal. Correct, no problem. Dog is an animal. So what I am telling, dog is a animal. No problem. It is correct. Okay. Now if I'll tell bike is a dog, is it correct? Bike is not a dog, right? Why? Because this bike is not falling under our this dog hierarchy. Got it, right? So if I'll say animal is a dog, is it correct? Animal is a dog. No, because all animals are not dog, right? You can have a horse, you can have some other animals also. Got it, right? So that's why whenever you are saying is a is satisfied, so what is happening? All subclasses are superclasses. Dog is a animal, horse is a animal, similar to bike is a vehicle, and all are object will be on the topmost basically. Are able to answer? So till now I think you might have already understood what does is a means basically. Okay, so what is a means? Is a is nothing but related to inheritance. Okay, so what is a? Is a is related to inheritance or interface also. I'll talk about this. So after some time we will have some example and we will be able to understand. Okay, so dog is it is related to inheritance. So observe very closely. All subclass is a superclass. Subclass is a superclass. Okay, so subclass is a superclass. So you are using is a, right? So that is nothing but is a only. Okay, so it is related to inheritance and it is related to Got it, right? We'll have one example, then you will be able to understand. Okay, so now whenever you want to check whether your easy relationship is correct or not, okay, so we use one of those operator called instance of. What is the operator called? Instance of. Okay, so what is the operator we use? We use instance of operator. So what is the name of that operator? Instance of. Whenever if you want to check easy, what you go over there, you just use instance of, it will be passing for you if your easy is correct. If easy is not correct, it will give you compilation problem. Why? Because operator always gives you problem during compile time. Got it, right? So operator means something like plus, minus, all other operators, right? So operators will work with operand. Okay, it will work with operand, right? So always operator will give you problem during compile time. It will never go to runtime. Okay, so I'll give you one example. Okay, so let's try to have the same example, the example which we have discussed now. Okay, we'll try to put it in your coding structure basically. Okay, so we'll go over there. We already go over there. We'll create one of the class called animal. Okay, animal is your class. Okay, and what is another class we are creating? Dog is one of the class. Okay, then let's try to create one of the class called maybe vehicle is the class. Okay, and dog is animal. So what is the keyword we use? Extends animal. Okay, but vehicle does not extend animal. Why? Because vehicle is separate only. Okay, now we'll go here, we'll create some sort of objects over there. Okay, so let's try to create object of dog. So dog object equal to new dog. Okay, and let's try to create another object called vehicle equal to new vehicle. So there are two objects, one is your dog object, another is called vehicle object. Okay, so now suppose let's try to see whether we are following our inheritance easy or not. Okay, so as I told, how to check easy relationship, we use this instance of. Okay, so see here, if I want to check whether my dog is a animal or not, how will I write? Dog object. Here one of the very beautiful operator called instance of is used. Instance of animal. SYSO. Okay, so what I can say dog is an animal. Okay, I'll make it else. If else is coming, then what happens? Dog is not an animal. So if I'll run this code, what should my output tell me? Dog is a animal. Okay, so I should see I am writing dog is an animal. Okay, now suppose I am having one more class, animal equal to new animal. So tell me, animal is a animal or not? Animal is a animal, no problem, right? So let's try to use this animal is a animal. Okay, animal is a animal is not animal. So what should be my output? Animal is a animal. Okay, animal is a animal, no problem. Okay, but as soon as I'll try to use this vehicle is not in our animal tree, right? Okay, so if we'll try to use it, what happens? See what is happening? There is problem. Got it, right? So why we are getting the problem during compile time? As I told, operator always fails during compile time. It will never go to runtime. Got it, right? So see here, it is not running. It is telling you what is the problem. Let's try to go over there. What is the problem? Incompatible operand type. Because as I told, operator will always work with the operand. Okay, so what is happening? The operand which you are passing, this operand and this operand, both are not compatible. So that's why we are saying it is incompatible operand types. Got it, right? So this is the way how you will check your easy relationship. Very simple. What is the small beautiful operator we use? What is the one? Instance of. Okay, so we use instance of operator to check easy relationship. Okay, any doubt till now? Any doubt till now? No. Okay. Now try to understand. Okay, so I will go over there. I'll go to dog. Okay, dog is a animal. Sometimes if you are having implements, now that also will follow under your easy only. Okay, something dog implement something like buildable. Then what will happen? Dog instance of buildable is correct. Okay, so it will give you true. Okay, implements or extents both will work for your instance of. Okay, both will work. Okay, so now let's try to think. Okay, so note it down. I mean, what happened? Extents and implements both will be fine with instance of. Okay, both will be fine with instance of. Okay, okay, now try to understand. We'll discuss about let's talk about, suppose animal, sorry, dog. So all dog will have its owner, right? Okay, so I'll create one of those string. Okay, or not mandatory string. Suppose I'm having one of those class. Suppose I'm having on the class. Okay, I'll give the name called owner. What is the name of the class? Owner. Okay, now dog is an animal. Okay, and I'll create one owner. Okay, so what I have done, I have created one instance variable of dog. So I'll tell some of the statements. You should tell whether it is correct or not. Okay, so if I'll say dog is a animal, is it correct? It's correct. Okay, if I'll say dog has a owner, is it correct? Dog has a owner, correct, right? So dog has a owner. If I'll say owner is a dog, is it correct? Owner is not a dog. He will kill you. Got it, right? So what does that means? Your whatever instance variable you are creating, those will be following under has a. Got it, right? So dog is an animal and dog has a owner. Got it, right? So this example will tell you what is a, what is has a. You cannot say dog has a animal. Got it, right? So dog always be is a animal, and whatever variables will be there, those are called has a, basically. Okay, so yeah, so note it down. So what is has a? Has a is related to has a is related to uses, basically. It is related to uses. Okay, and all the instance variables will be considered for has a. All the instance variable will be considered for has a. Okay, so the class, okay, has a, okay, instance variables. Okay, so this is the syntax you have to think about. Okay, class has an instance variable. Whichever variable will be there, those will be called has a. So something like if I'll do public class, okay, something like test extends. Okay, so suppose I'll give the name called sub. Okay, and here super class. Then what will happen? This is nothing but sub is a superclass. Sub is a superclass. Okay. Now let's go here and try to understand. Okay. So suppose car is having one of those variant of your car called Bolero. Okay. So Bolero is a car. Bolero is a car. Car is a vehicle. Okay, so now if I'll say Bolero is a vehicle, is it correct? Yes, it's correct. Got it, right? So it's not only about one hierarchy. You can go for beyond the hierarchy. I mean, so whichever super classes are there, all are I mean subclasses are those superclass basically. Got it, right? It's not the case. I mean, sir told inheritance means only one level I'll check. You can check your previous level also. Na? You can keep on going beyond that. Okay. Got it, right? Okay. Now I'll do one I'll write one more thing. Okay. So try to understand. Okay. So if I'll say, okay. So car has wheels. Okay. Car has wheels. Wheels means all those, I mean whatever wheels cars will have. Okay. Now I'll tell one statement. You have to tell whether it is correct or not. Okay. So I'll tell bike has a wheel. Is it correct? Bike has a wheel. Is it correct or not? Bike has a wheel or not? It is correct or not? Okay. So but here if you see in our hierarchy, na, it is not correct. Why? Because this wheel is only for car. Okay. If I say Bolero has a wheel, it is correct. Why? Because it will come through inheritance. The tree which is coming, it will come. Okay. But bike, what happened? Bike is separate, right? So bike does not know about car. If I'll make wheels here, then everybody will be applicable. Okay. So in this case, I can say car has a wheel, bike has a wheel, vehicle has a wheel, even Bolero has a wheel. Why? Because this is coming through your inheritance. Okay. But if I'm mentioning it only for the car, what does that mean? It is only for the car or maybe subclass. The other class, something like bike, will be unaware of your wheels. Are you able to understand what I am talking about? Is okay. So be very careful. I mean, so this is very, I mean, generic question which you will get. Okay. So just note it down in this diagram. Okay. Vehicle, car, wheels, and bike, and this one. Okay. So in this case, bike does not have wheels. Okay. So just note this diagram. Okay. So question will be something like, okay, question will be something like true or false. True or false. Okay. Bike has a wheels. Something like this sort of question will be there. Bike has a wheels. Whether true or false. Okay. So let's try to have all those. Vehicle has a wheels. Okay. Then car has a wheels. Okay. Bolero has a wheels. So here one arrow will be there. I am not able to generate the arrow here. All the time you will have one arrow. Okay. Which will tell you the inheritance tree. Okay, so tell me which all are true. Bike has a wheels. Is it correct? False. Okay, vehicle has a wheels. False. Okay, now if I'll say car has a wheel, true. Why? Because car is wheel is property of car. Okay. Now if I'll say Bolero has a wheels, tell me, true. Okay. So be very careful. If one property is coming for your any class, then it will not go through the other class until unless it is not a subclass of it. Okay. So that's what so what is easy? Easy, the concept of easy is based on the class inheritance or interface implementation. What is the operator we use? Instance of operator. And car extends vehicle. What we can say? Car is a vehicle. Bolero extends car means Bolero is a car. What you can say? Bolero is a vehicle also. Why? Because it is coming under your same tree basically. Okay. So similarly here also what is heze? Heze is anything related to usage, and it is rather than inheritance. Inheritance is not used. It is only for the usage part. Okay. Something like a horse. A horse is an animal, and horse has a halter. What is halter? Halter means some sort of you will be there na, in your horse, right? So if you say horse is a halter, can you say no? Horse has a halter basically. Okay. So easy is preferred over heze is preferred over easy. Okay. Yeah. Now. So one very typical question: which is preferred? Heze or easy? So this also so sometimes we usually give some different names of it. Okay, so easy is also called, as we have discussed. Okay, so inheritance. And what is heze? Heze is nothing but it is also called composition. What is this called? Composition. This is also called aggregation. What is called? Aggregation. So all are having same meaning. Okay. So easy means inheritance. If somebody asks what is the difference in aggregation and composition, what that means he is asking easy has a difference. If somebody what is the difference in composition and easy, he is asking easy has a. So all will boil down to the same question. Easy has a. Okay. So different names are there basically. Okay. So now heze is always preferred over easy. Okay. So what should be your answer? Heze is always preferred over ease. Okay, so heze is always preferred over easy. Okay, why try to understand this? Why? Okay, so see here. Suppose we have discussed here animal. Okay, animal, then dog. Okay, and suppose we are having horse, and one dog baby. So there is one dog baby over there. Okay, so now try to understand. If I'll go for easy, then what will happen? All the property of animal will come to dog. It will come to horse also. Are you getting? Then what will happen? It will consume more memory, right? Suppose a dog wants to have its owner. Then if I'll make owner here, then what will happen? What will happen? How many places owner is coming? 1, 2, 3, 4 also. This also. Got it, right? But if owner is not getting used by other person, we just want to use it in our dog. Then if I'll make it here, then what will happen? How many places it is coming? 2 places. This one and this, which is good. 2 is good, right? Why? Because it will consume less memory. Are you able to understand? So if you make it easier, it is okay. You can do your task, but what is the problem? What is happening? It will consume more memory basically. Okay, why? Because the property will follow through your all the other classes, other subclasses basically. Got it, right? So that's why what we told heze is always preferred over easy. Why? Because of memory utilization. So memory utilization. Okay, so heze will consume less memory than your easy. So heze is always preferred over easy. Heze is always preferred over easy. Okay, so that's what it is mentioned over there. Okay. Now try to understand, whenever Java was getting released, okay, so Gosling had given some of the statements. Okay, so this one was the statement which was given by Gosling. So what was the statement? Java omits many rarely used, poorly understood, confusing features of C++ that in our experience bring more grief than benefits. So ultimately this is the statement which was given. Okay, so try to understand what he told about here is Java omits many rarely used, poorly understood, confusing features of C++ that in our experience bring more grief than benefits. So what are we telling? Java will remove all the features which are complicated, which people cannot understand. Because what is the motive of Java? They want to make it very simple language. Got it, right? So but there are some features which was making our language complex, so only they have removed those features. Okay, so those were bringing more grief than benefits. What are those features? Multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance is very tough to understand for the people, so they have removed it. What is the other feature? Operator overloading. There is no operator overloading also. Why? Because it is very tough to understand for the people. Got it, right? So Java removed all the confusing features. Okay, so there is no multiple inheritance in Java. Okay, why no multiple inheritance? Try to understand. Okay, so yeah, we'll discuss it in the next tutorial. Okay, so from here we will continue. We'll have some sort of examples, polymorphism. In this chapter will be small